Hi guys, we're back. Laura and I took a quick break off of our national book tour for How to Feed a Family. We're so excited to get back into the cityline.ca kitchens to share another recipe with you. And one of the things that we keep hearing when we've been on book tour is this sort of whole issue of picky eating.
Eaters.
And we're big believers in a family dinner, not kids dinner versus parent dinner. And this recipe that we're going to make today, which is called ginger pork orfa pasta, is a perfect example of that. It's got great sort of zesty flavors that adults like, and it's just a super yummy, delicious, cozy pasta that kids like. So I'm going to get started like most good pasta recipes do by sauteing some onion.
And the thing about this recipe was, it was actually a friend of mine. So it was my neighbor's recipe, really. And she was telling me one day about how this is her like go-to recipe that she makes in a pinch, and her kids love it. And that she actually often makes sure she has lots of leftovers so that the next day, if she doesn't feel like making pasta again, although many kids don't mind pasta 2 nights in a row, she can even just make long grain rice and serve the leftovers over that, and then it's like a whole new meal.
Isn't it funny, before I had kids, I used to dislike leftovers, and now I live for them.
I used to eat cereal before I had kids.
I know. And now it's like I think of how I can get 2 meals out of one time in the kitchen.
Well, this is definitely one of those meals, and thankfully,
it works.
it works.
So I just threw some mushrooms in there. That's going to add to that earthy flavor. It goes so well with meat. We're just going to saute them a little bit until they soften up. And then we're going to get our meat in the pan. This is ground pork. If you don't find it at your grocery store, your butcher will grind it up for you. It's got great flavor.
But you don't actually have to use ground pork. I mean,
Yeah.
you could even use ground turkey.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
could even use ground beef.
Yeah. Always go with what you've got. Don't let an ingredient missing from your pantry get in the way of you and an awesome dinner, for goodness sake. Okay, we're just going to let that brown right through. And now that the pork is sort of nicely browned and
Smells
smelling
good.
yum, I'm going to put in, check this out, it's 8 cloves of garlic and about 3 inches of ginger root.
It was funny when you said 3 inches.
Oh, is it?
Kind of.
Okay, family show. So it's going to give us some really great flavor. And in flu and cold season, you know, a lot of garlic and ginger, you can't go wrong. But don't worry, it's going to mellow out. It's not going to be like overly.
My poor daughter, I grate garlic over her pasta in
Just
cold
like
and flu.
your dad used to.
I know. It's a crazy thing.
So
my dad used to do.
just don't be afraid of flavors when it comes to kids. I think we all think, oh, kids are picky, they can't have strong flavors. Just, you know, keep at it, keep introducing new things, and they'll
eventually relent.
Yes, exactly.
Plus, with picky eating, it's like everything with children, it's a stage.
Yes,
It's something that they'll eventually move away from. And I think that the number one thing that really can frustrate parents is the fact that you put so much into dinner. We work so hard all day, and we come home and we throw our food together in 30 minutes or less because we've got to be somewhere else, or people have to get to bed or practice their spelling test. That was my night last night. And then they don't eat it, and it's so upsetting. You when you're cooking, and it's so heartbreaking because you put so much effort into it, and when they turn their nose up on it, it makes you feel terrible. So try not to take it personally, and try not to make too big of a deal out of it, because eventually it will all come out in the wash, right?
Or in the chicken stock. I'm adding 2.5 cups of chicken stock, and Laura's going to throw in some sugar snap peas into here.
Again, if you don't have sugar snap peas, you can also add green beans. This could be asparagus. You could have those little baby cute corns.
Broccoli florette. The nice thing about this, if you really put a lot of veggies into it, it's kind of one dish dinner, which I super love.
One pot meal.
So you're just going to let that simmer away for about 5 minutes so that the stock kind of reduces, everything, all the flavors meld, and you're almost ready to call everyone to the table. Okay, so my sauce has simmered down, and I'm just going to add some sliced green onion to sort of freshen up the flavors.
It smells like heaven.
And we're ready. Laura, you ready with your bowl?
Yep, I've got my pasta right here. We've just got some whole wheat penne ready to go.
And
you could use rigatoni though if you want. And you just spoon it right over the top and make sure you get
Give
all
you a
that
little bit of
juicy
yummy
goodness.
sauce.
And then because I'm a cilantro fan, love to garnish it with a little bit of cilantro on top. But you could always just dive right into it the way it is or put some parsley on top.
And dinner
And
is
dinner is served.
ready. In, what was that, about 20 minutes?
Easily, yeah.
Come back next week when we finish up our How to Feed a Family series with the best of all, dessert.
Dessert.
See you then.
See you next week.